Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'll be talking about a Sam Darnold trade package that I saw online. But before we get started, just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out the podcast. New episodes come out every Monday. And last but not least, check out the merch in the link down below in the description. All right, so let's talk about this Sam Darnold trade package that's made its way around the internet. This is courtesy of The Athletic. Dane Brugler is the one who put it out, and he covers the NFL draft and prospects and stuff like that. So he has the New York Jets trading Sam Darnold, which that in itself seems like something that could be very likely going into this offseason. I understand a lot of people think that he can still figure it out, and there is a chance that maybe he can figure it out here. But when you look at Sam Darnold needing to get paid very soon versus restarting the rookie contract and having Joe Douglas pick his own guy and Robert Saleh pick his own guy and have a GM, head coach, quarterback all on the same wavelength in the same timeline, that's really a huge difference, and that's why I think, that's the route they're going to end up going. But with all that said, let's take a look at this trade between the Jets and the 49ers. Here's the package. So the Jets would be trading Sam Darnold and the 23rd overall pick to the 49ers for pick number 12 in this year's draft and next year's, so 2022's, second round pick. That's huge for the New York Jets. I would do this in a second. So the Jets are trading Darnold. That's you're trading the quarterback, and you're moving up 11 spots in the draft by giving pick number 23 and getting a second round pick on top of that. That's tremendous value for the New York Jets. And if you're Joe Douglas trying to build a team, that helps tremendously. With this trade, the Jets would still have 2 picks in this year's first round and 2 picks in next year's first round and 2 picks in next year's second round on top of that. And why it's so important is because, yes, having the 23rd overall pick is nice, but if you get up towards top 10 and top 15, you can get a real solid player to pair with whoever you decide to draft at number 2. Let's say Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, or if you're trading for Deshaun Watson at that point, obviously this isn't going to matter, but if, let's say, we're going the rookie quarterback route, you can get a weapon for him, a high-quality weapon for him at 12. Now, I don't think you're going to get a Devontae Smith, or I don't think you're going to get a Jamar Chase in that spot, but Jalen Waddle will absolutely be there, or should be there at least at 12. If not him, Kyle Pitts, if you want to go the tight end route, and he's kind of more of a hybrid, like an Evan Ingram-like player who could line up at wide receiver or tight end and go down that route. Or maybe you say, no, you know what, I just want to get a stud cornerback. Okay, Patrick Surtain, there's a chance that he might be there. If not him, Caleb Farley should be there. One of those 2 guys will likely be there, and then you'll have your pick at a ton of different edge prospects there. And yes, you can find some nice players, some nice corners at 23, but your chances of hitting on a good player at 12 are exponentially higher than at 23. And this Jets team, well, they need a lot of help. And if you can tell me that I could trade Sam Darnold and get an additional second round pick, which you already thought you were going to get anyway, and then move up on top of that, that's tremendous value for Joe Douglas. Like I said, I would do it in an absolute second. I think it makes a lot of sense for this Jets team. It allows them to address a need with a higher end prospect. I mean, let's face it, no offense to anyone going at 23. And you could absolutely find a good player at 23. So if they keep that pick, don't be discouraged. But getting yourself closer to the top 10 and in the top 15, I mean, hey, you can maybe draft Elijah Vera Tucker, because I don't think he's going to make it to 23. Like, there's so many different options the Jets could go, and this offseason is filled with so many different options and routes the Jets can go, which is going to make it exciting. But if they were, let's just say they use this example and they do this, the 49ers, they are saying, okay, well, we're betting on Sam Darnold. We think that he can figure it out, and we're going to move on from Jimmy G, which is something I think they absolutely do. And we're going to offer you our first rounder this year, but we're going to take the Seattle pick this year. But for your troubles, here's a second round pick next year. And I think they're saying that they're going to bet that they can afford to give up that second rounder next year. And for the Jets, a rebuilding team, it just adds even more assets. Draft assets are going to be huge over the next couple of years for this team. And something that I've talked about a lot on this channel is rebuilds and how to rebuild in the NFL. And a lot of people say, or they tell me in the comments or in my DMs, the Jets are 4 years away. They're 5 years away. NFL doesn't work like that anymore. Teams rebuild in a year or two. And if the Jets have $80-85 million in cap space when they cut guys like Henry Lewis, Henry, when they cut guys like Henry Anderson, Alex Lewis, Greg Van Roten, and that number bumps up in the 80s in cap space when no other team has pretty much any cap space whatsoever, they're going to be able to take advantage in free agency. When you have 2 picks in the top 12 and then a pick at 34 also, and then 2 seconds next year, and oh, by the way, we traded Jamal Adams, who's basically a linebacker at this point in his career, for another first round pick next year, you're going to have a ton of swings. And let's be honest, we trust Joe Douglas a hell of a lot more than we trust Mike Maccagnan or John Idzik taking players in the NFL draft. In year 1, it looked like we got a decent amount of players in that draft class, and he can continue to build out the roster his way through the draft on cheap deals, which you need in today's NFL, and supplement it with free agency. So yeah, this would be huge for the Jets as they continue to rebuild this thing. So I would do it in a second. Let me know what you think down below in the description, or in the comments rather. Would you do this trade? Get at me on social media, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.
Wow.